Hi everybody, Fred the Pirate here, and I am here to do a review on Attack on Titan episode 17. So a really cool episode this week. A lot of really actiony things happen. And the really cool thing that happened this week's episode, as the title of the episode suggests, is that we actually encounter a female Titan. And not only do we encounter a female Titan, but the female Titan we encounter is actually extremely intelligent. So essentially, through the course of this episode, we spend a lot of time with Armin. And Armin, along with his fellow comrades, they end up finding a weird Titan. And so they end up killing it, but right after they find this weird Titan, they find another one. And this is the female Titan. And they find out through engaging the female Titan that she is intelligent. So two of Armin's comrades, his more veteran ones, they end up getting killed by the female Titan. And the thing about the female Titan is the way she kills them is she doesn't eat them. So she's not interested in eating them. What she does is that she's just interested in killing them to kill them. And the weird thing about the Lady Titan is that she just keeps running in one direction. Like, she doesn't seem to be interested in people. She just keeps running in this one. She keeps running in this one direction. So they're really interested in this. And the direction she is running is towards the right flank of the formation. So she's running in this particular direction. And Armin, interestingly enough, he kind of figures out through engaging the Titan that she is probably very similar to the armored and colossal Titan, and he also figures out that these three Titans are probably like Eren in the fact that they are probably humans who can turn into Titans, which I think is probably true. Armin actually has a really interesting run-in with this female Titan in the fact that she doesn't kill him, but she gets really close to him and she removes his hood because he had his riding hood up. And so she removes it and then she looks at him and then she just goes away because she doesn't really give a shit about Armin, so she kind of just leaves him and she keeps running in the direction she was running, which is really interesting and really unnerving because Armin thinks like he's totally fucked and he's going to get killed, but she doesn't end up killing him. And so he decides to follow her because he knows that if this is in fact a human who can turn into a Titan, that there's a lot of shit going on here. So, and he figures that, she's going to cause a lot of trouble. So he starts to follow her. And at the same time, very quickly after that, we find out that in the direction that the female Titan had came, that there is a whole shitload of regular Titans, and that they just pretty much took out the back right flank of their formation to the point where they essentially just have to get back to a safe place now. So after we learn that, we find out that Gene, and I believe his name is Thomas, who's the blonde guy, who's the big muscly blonde guy, that he shows up, and so they're helping Armin, and so they're helping Armin kind of distract the Titan, not necessarily to kill her because she's intelligent, and it's kind of hard to do that, but just to distract her long enough to get their flank to a safe distance. They talk to each other about the female Titan and exactly, what is she doing and what do you think she's doing, and all of them kind of correctly surmise that she's probably actually after Eren, since she doesn't really seem to give a shit about anybody else, and she's not really interested in eating people. Thomas and Gene almost get killed. Interestingly though, when the female Titan grabs Thomas when she's fighting them, that it actually almost looks like she crushes him, but he escapes somehow by cutting her hand, and then right after he and Jean had fight her and Armin had fight her, that she ends up running to a new direction, and so they kind of initially assume that she's got scared somehow and that she's going away. But Armin sees where she's running, and he's like, oh shit, like she's not going away, like she's going to where we think Eren is, because Jean and Armin and Thomas talk about where they were told Eren was in their formation, and Armin kind of figures out where Eren is, and he kind of voices this. And so now, after dealing with them, somehow she knows this, like somehow she knows where Eren is, particularly after she squeezes Thomas, and so she's like, she knows where shit is now. And so in the preview for next week's episode totally confirms this because she's gonna end up running into Aaron. And I'm definitely looking forward to figuring out how that works out. But anyways, this was a really great episode, really actiony. We learned a lot. I'm definitely thinking that Armin's theories on stuff are probably correct. But I'm definitely really interested, like, if the armored colossal and now female titan, if these are humans who can turn into titans, like Aaron did, who turned them into titans, and more importantly, who's controlling them now. So definitely kind of looking forward to figuring out how that works out, and also like who their human identities are. Although been this spoiler going around on the internet of what their human identities are, and I'm figuring that that spoiler is pretty spot on. So although I'm not necessarily that bothered by being spoiled by it because it kind of seems really obvious, particularly for the Lady Titan. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this week's episode and what you're looking forward for next week. So make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next week.